Fail. Yeah, basically he wants us to hop on his back. Yes, Fleshling. I'm prepared to join you in battle, Hydronis. I don't know how we're actually helping him in any way by just disappearing into the, ether. You shall pay for what you've done to my minnows, fool. So we got Ice Block if we need it, but unless she's got some, really nasty spell, I don't see us needing it. So that's Frostbite. That just damages an enemy and reduces the cast speed. This is a title, you cannot save Neptron. This does damage in a 100-yard cone in front of the caster, dealing 255 damage. This is just fires a water missile at an enemy doing frost damage. There's Ice Block. Dismount. That was shockingly easy. The priestess is no more. It is done. Together we were able to bring out a dangerous adversary. Neptron himself shall hear of your exploits here, shaman. Allow me to extend you his thanks. You should leave now. This place will not remain safe for long. Soon the Naga will seek vengeance for the priestess. And there's that. And it's useless to me. Oh, God. That is just hilarious. Also, that was like a hilariously brief quest. Like, I was expecting a bit more. Let's be honest here. I was expecting a bit more. So, random turtle shell. Giant turtle. So, let's have a little bit of look at stuff while we're waiting. Let's see. Here's this. The Temple of Athel Hakar. It used to have a different name, Sunken Temple. Thousands of years ago, the Gorbashi Empire was plunged into a civil war by a powerful sect of priests, the Athel-ai. The Apple AI. Siri. Was Siri behind it? Yeah. Who sought to summon to Azeroth an avatar of the god of blood, Hakard of Soulflare. The Gorbashi people exiled the Atali to the Swamp of Sorrows, where the priests built the temple of Athel Hakar. The Sarah aspect of the Green Dragonflight sank the temple beneath the swamp, and the sign ward this to ensure that summoning rituals never be performed again. I feel like I misread that. Thousands of years ago, the Gorbashi Empire was plunged into a civil war by a powerful sect of priests, the Atali, who sought to summon to Azeroth an avatar of their god of blood, Hakar Soulflare. Wait. Is there no Naga here? Huh. No, they're still here. I just had such an uneventful trip over and couldn't see them for a bit. So yeah, I think I read it right. But yeah, it used to be much bigger. I remember I had a Paladin quest that sent me there, but I never, since I was trying to, like, well, not soul it, I think it was, like, my aunt used to play WoW, and so, we were just trying to do the dungeon just with her. She was, a Draenei Hunter at the time, so I was trying to do it on my Pally and with the assistance of her Hunter and Bear. Didn't really work too well, and had difficulty navigating to the enemies I needed, so I never ended up doing the quest. I was planning on coming back to it at a later stage, but by the time, well, I remembered it was actually removed. Actually, the removal was what reminded me of it. So yeah, I wouldn't have gotten a great reward for it. It was a Scourge Stone. Basically, it's a one-use item that allows you to do bonus damage to the undead. It was kind of cool. Avatar of Hakar. You used to have to do a quest to summon this. Hakar was notorious. Also, side point, there's actually a demon called Hakar. It's like Hakar the Hellmaster or something. So yeah, Blizzard likes the name. It was a coincidence that they reused it. They just wiped the name, I guess. Well, like it's not like they intentionally named the blood god after the demon that was actually created before it, by Blizzard. You know, not within the lore. The demon Hakar came before the creation of the blood god Hakar by the dev side. It was just a quinky dink that they both have the same name, so yeah, it's an accident. Anyway, Hakar was notorious for demanding sacrifices from his followers. Many millennia ago, he instructed the Atali to bring forth its avatar, using the blood drained ritually drained from living victims to feed him. The Atali priests now seek to raise Hakar's avatar with a modified version of this ritual, one that involves sacrificing green dragons. If the Atali succeed, the re-emergence of Hakar's avatar could spell doom for Azeroth. And this is it. You've seen such model elsewhere. It's not a unique take. In fact, none of these are, really. Also, this used to have such like a really long quest chain and whatnot. It was really cool. But it's gone. Well, it's actually, sorry, no. I think it had a long quest chain, but it just suddenly and abruptly ended. But now, in Cataclysm, they actually brought a reference back to that. The NPC that you turned it into at the very end, he's like a rare or a quest NPC. I think he's actually part of a quest now himself to be killed because he's after going evil, basically. A mad with power kind of thing. Okay, let's see the lore. Actually, you know, I don't really need to read anymore, do I? I managed to make back just fine. So, well, I was just kind of reading it for the trip over, but got back fine. So, do I really need to continue this? You know what? I will. I've started. Jamalan is the current leader of the Atali. The extremists like the priests who fanatically worship Hakar. While in deep meditation, Jaman received instructions on how to resurrect Hakar by using the blood of his draconic foes, the green dragonflight. Jamalon and his undead bodyguard, Ogom the Wretched, stand ready to oppose any who would prevent Hakar's return, though the prophet's actions may unleash upon Azeroth an even more terrible force, the Emerald Nightmare. I swear I've seen that name before, but I don't recognize it. There's actually a troll in... there used to be a troll over here. Funnily enough, this is a level 30 to 35 zone. Much like here. There's a troll... there isn't actually much quests here, is there? There used to be in classic, well, sorry, pre-Cataclysm, I should say. There used to be a troll you could find like down here, or somewhere here. He was actually from the Sunken Temple, but he got kicked out, and he wanted vengeance. Part of me is paranoid. Well, is thinking maybe that's this guy. Like they have replaced, like, remember in Stratholme, they replaced the paladin you can find in the chapel. Well, he's replaced the final boss. So, yeah. He's the son of Rivendare, apparently. So he's replaced the final boss of Stratholme. Of one side of it. So part of me was thinking that, but, probably not. But yeah, the Emerald Nightmare, that's something you'll see more of in Legion. You'll actually go into it for a bit. And deal with it. I'm not sure if you fully purge it. I don't think that you can. Well, sorry, I don't think that's what happened. Well, the ending implies that it's gone and everything's hunky-dory now, but at the same time, I remember seeing online that there was lore. I didn't read the lore myself, but it was like on the wiki. Lore that was pointing at at an old god being behind it, and you didn't kill an old god. You killed the first satyr, who had been somehow tied in with the Emerald Dream. And in its corruption. But you don't kill an old god. You may have killed an old god's minion, but you don't kill an old god. So it's weird. Or maybe there was no old god behind the corruption. Maybe it was just a satyr. Or maybe there's still corruption, it's just been pushed back by taking out that minion. Who knows? Who knows? Four promising young drakes accompanied Aranicus into the temple of Athel-Hakar, eager to prove themselves by serving a great and powerful worm, one by one they were captured and tainted by the Emerald Nightmare, and now they wandered the halls of the sunken temple, lashing out at all who would intrude upon their waking dream. And here's shade of Aranicus. Aranicus, former consort to Ysera the Dreamer. Also, during that really long quest chain, if memory serves, you would actually fight a raid boss version of Aranicus or something. Or maybe that was tied in with the AQ40 thing. I remember when I was leveling up Palnai originally, I kept hearing shouts, yells that were continent-wide, if memory serves, to do with that. Maybe they weren't continent-wide, but I don't think I was in the correct areas with like Moonglade to be hearing them, and yet I was. So maybe I'm misremembering, or they were continent-wide. So, yeah, you may want to look into it yourself. This is long since gone content, but it's still interesting. Also, I don't know it too well because I've never done it. So, anyway. Aranicus, former consort to Ysera the Dreamer, was sent to guard the ruins of Athel-Hakar and prevent Hakar's emergence. Once within the temple, he and his retro were corrupted by the dark forces, and it became a shade pulled between the realms of the Emerald Dream and the physical plane. Despite his corruption, Aranicus may still call upon his powers as a green dragon to spew corrosive acid at his enemies or trap them in a deep slumber. There used to be much more bosses in Sunken Temple. I think the amount got halved or something. You will also want to look that up. Please accept this reward for your heroic accomplishments, Durcar. You've brought us precious time. You've accomplished much in your efforts against Naga, Durcar, but I fear it is not nearly enough. This is my official assessment of Naga presence. I'm confident my peers in the Wildlands will take the necessary action. Bring this to Karnam and the grove in the center of the Cenarian Wildlands to the southeast. You'll know what to do. Thank you, Durcar, and farewell. So, sure, I'll go get it. Will mean I'll have to engage Naga again, but oh well. It got me some silk, got me some other stuff. But like I said in the last set, I'm actually quite tempted in the idea of having like tail ring on most people. And because that way I can, when I'm just like going around killing humanoid enemies, I'll just start stacking up extra claws. Even in the Legion, even beyond Legion, as they've been keeping doing this since Wrath of the Lich King. Well, they introduced it in Wrath of the Lich King, and they kept it, and they, continued this thing on into a Cataclysm, into Miss Pandaria, into WoD. They don't see, and then into Legion. They don't seem to show any sign of stopping, so, yeah. I've no reason to believe that they would just all of a sudden, like, say, next expansion. So, I'm thinking it could be actually rather profitable. Plus, I wouldn't really have to do any extra work, really. Well, once I get my tail ring to Wrath of the Lich King level, I wouldn't actually have to do any more work with it then. I could just ignore it and let it rest. And just simply... well, as far as I know, I can just do that. And simply just... just keep getting the extra stuff. So, yeah. I do have to get like a special talent from a trainer in a Wrath of the Lich King territory. It's not simply get to the level and that's it. You do have to get a particular thing. But beyond that, it's clean sailing. I'm gonna fight my way over to here. Actually, I should fight my way down first. They'll want to beat up these first. Oh, this guy. So, yeah, but anyway, the tailoring thing is tempting. I'm just not sure if I should. At the same time, the ore and the leather is doing fine. So, part of me feels like I shouldn't be just having everyone on tailoring. It mightn't be too fun or interesting for me. Or me. So, yeah. Saying that, thinking that I may actually have enough money and whatnot on everyone. Like I wouldn't actually need to hold on. Let's kill these. I may have actually enough money on like say having one character with gathering professions and whatnot. I may have enough money on them to pay for everyone's thing. So I only need one per faction. Calderin will have to suit for himself, but because he's over on the Alliance side, while being a Horde character. But what am I trying to say? Basically, part of me is thinking that like I'm tempted towards the idea of having tailoring on everyone, but I'm also thinking that maybe I don't need professions in anyone bar one person per faction. You know, maybe I'll be fine with that. Because, like, look at the amount of money I have there. After buying bags, after buying the extra bank slot and whatnot. Really, I didn't spend that much. And also getting riding training and whatnot. I could afford that on everyone. Now, like, I might be able to afford, like, say, from the first riding training up to the last, and then cold weather flying and all that. Might be able to afford all of that with the amount I have there for all the characters, but just at the current amount he's earning, like with that just one thing, it doesn't look like I need to be grinding up, cash for on like all of them. Just simply do it on him and job sorted. So part of me's thinking that, but part of me really does like the idea of just raking in the money, Because I've never really been rich in WoW. I've always been very bit poorer. I was richer back in WoD, but then I kind of ended up blowing all the money on something. Don't remember how well I've rectified that in Cataclysm. So that's damn done. That was surprisingly easy. Let's move on into here. Anyway, hopefully that made sense. Basically, I'm thinking I could have tailoring on everyone, but that might be the best idea. And in fact, maybe I'll need professions on one person, and that's enough to generate all the cash I need. The rest can just damn it, did it wrong. The rest can just relax. Maybe I don't need any more money. Well, any more money making stuff. The rest can just focus on getting up to max level. I'm not sure. I think I might just stick with what I've been doing so far because I've put so much time into it. So, yeah. Okay, I have to kill... Let's just get rid of these. Oh, nice. So I need 3 more uprooted lashes to get rid of. Well, I have 3 more uprooted lashes to get rid of. And grab this. Gotcha. Sometimes it's annoying when those leeches go under the Thunder Lizard. It's a bit of a bloody nuisance. Throw it. Come on. Fucking bar. Couldn't grab the leech with it. I was just ended up clicking on it instead. Okay. You. Christ. Throw it. Beautiful. Come on. Gotcha. Alright. Last one. Well. Second last one. I still need to kill the lashers, but now I just need to kill sorry, I need to kill how many more? 3 more. 3 more lashers, and I need to get the nice. Need to get 10 of these. Now 9. I feel like I should really